Welcome to This Startup is Being Recorded. This recording is improvised fiction. Similarities between it and the real world are entirely intentional. Now, enjoy the recording.
Okay, we're recording. So Eric wasn't able to make it today, but we're just gonna do stand up for everyone else. I guess for any new employees listening, we are Sit. We record all of our meetings. We're, an up and coming couch marketplace that also is just helping revolutionize trade for really the whole country and the whole world, hopefully. Um, and yeah, today we just need to hit a couple quick executive stand-up items and then, probably a quick in and out. Um, I'm Kate Banchette. I can start. I'm the chief of staff to John. John will be a topic in what I have to bring up, but he himself couldn't be here. He did send me a series of texts between like 1 to 4 words each that kind of help fill in some of the gaps, but are not super helpful.
Classic John.
Yeah.
Well, I can go next. I'm Matt.Yachts. That's also my website. And I'm the CTO here at Sit. I was trying that one out. I guess that would be more like a repeated vowel than it would be a capital. Sit.
Yeah. Or you could do like is it a dot over the Y? Which one is it to make it long? Maybe the
I always think of it as the long bar makes it long.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But that doesn't really help me because then I would be back to sit, and I think I'll just sit with sit.
Sit with
punchier.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can go. I'm Kalithina Darova. I'm the chief creative czar here at Sit. Very exciting.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, I'll just kick it off. I hope you all have seen the memos posted around the office and that I emailed out. But we as a company are no longer eating seafood. We, after the whole debacle with the, what was it? The amber scent,
Yes, ambergris.
Ambergris scent. Yeah. And our commitment really to use byproducts from sea creatures in a lot of our materials. We kind of went through an exercise with John of how to reconcile this with our company values. And the way we netted out is that if the entire company just doesn't eat seafood anymore, it'll neutralize the impact that we have on the oceans and the aquatic life. So that is a new part of our employment contracts.
I just want to clarify 2 things. One, does that mean you were not successful in convincing him not to use ambergris? And 2, do you mean in personal lives as well for our employees?
Same question. Very much same question.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the answer to both of those is yes. He was extremely convinced that ambergris was right for us, despite all of the samples, which I did spray at him at various points in our conversation. And we already kind of have a no fish policy in the office because of the whole scent and the
microwaves
thing. Yeah. But now it's just no fish or seafood, period. Anyone.
I feel like this is a dig at me because I've been trying to get John to resume our what used to be very frequent sushi dinners where we would catch up and talk about things. And somewhat coincidentally, when I started as CTO here, he kind of dropped those. And I don't know if it's related, but I'm feeling it personally. Even though I'm
sorry.
Tried several times to get him to go to some excellent vegetarian and vegan sushi places. Avocado and peanut has all the protein that you need, and it's delicious.
I totally agree. There's some really great places.
I'm going to break some of those down. We do have a couple folks on the support staff who are pescatarian. So they're a little worried about the fact that we're cutting out some of their main sources of protein. I have a few calls scheduled with their nutritionists, which I'm
because it's not the protein.
About.
You can get that back with like pea proteins and some other plant proteins, but It's the oils. It's the fatty acids, like the omega-3s and omega-6s. That's hard to replace.
Yeah, I mean this is there are definitely solutions. I mean 95% of the creative team are vegetarian. With that last one person being on the Zuckerberg method of only eating, animals or fish that he's personally killed.
Right.
Um I I think nutritionally we can definitely make that work. Um I would challenge John on the greater environmental impact that switching from fish to other land-based sources might be uh, have a worse impact on the planet,
Yeah. I
I mean,
mean,
it's certainly moving it around. The fact that there is illegal whale hunting involved in getting the ambergris for the scent is, I don't know that we would have to run our own fisheries and create more sea life. I don't think there's no amount of cutting we could do to make up for the whaling involved. Does that make
and
sense?
whales have a great carbon storage capture. So this isn't just like killing of a life; it's killing of a potential climate change solution.
Yeah.
I'm just, again, we'll also just bring up the illegality part of this and the difficulty in acquiring ambergris.
I know.
We tried on the creative team to go with just ambergris that naturally washed up on shores. But
Okay.
y- that's very limited. And the nefarious people we have to go with to get a secondary source it's just an undesirable position to put our company in, especially a company with a history, and I'm sorry to bring this up yet again, of killing bald eagles.
I
Ugh.
I know. God, I feel like our track record in environmentalism and endangered species is just like going down the drain. Um,
Yeah.
we're a couch marketplace. This shouldn't have anything to do with us, but somehow we are
Yeah.
tied
Well, I
to
mean,
the
I
ocean.
think great job, Calathea, with the messaging so far that has kept a lot of that conversation out of it. I mean, people like to bring it up on social media. What about the environmental impact of blah, 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 of what
Right.
SIT's doing? And paying folks to come by and say, this is about couches. Why are we talking about the environment? Has been very effective.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, we've done as good as we can with doing some very public, environmental projects, and also basically bullying anybody who brings up the impact to submission.
Yep.
Well, I'll just put this out there. I think, we added the information about not eating seafood to the contract, but it's really, frankly, unenforceable based on what our lawyers have told us after spending about 7 minutes on the topic.
Yep.
So maybe we just kind of put it out there. We tell John it's there, but we don't have to necessarily proclaim it as a sit company value very often.
Totally agree. I just want to just be on the record that I am less concerned about eating fish, again, being vegan and on a team that are largely vegan and vegetarian, and
Yeah.
more concerned about the hoops that we are currently jumping through
Yeah.
and the international poachers that
Right.
we now have on speed dial to obtain ambergris.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on this one.
Yeah, it's
Great,
bad.
yeah. Okay. I just we're all on record here. And we can move on.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep working on it. Who wants to go next and stand up? Hopefully it's not as terrible of an update as mine was.
I can go next. Just an update, honestly, pretty quick, probably. Camera replacements pretty much wrapped up throughout the facility. Calathea, thanks for having all your team come by with all the various eye devices. And thanks for your patience. getting that replacement glass for a lot of those things. It's tough. Apple products, they're not made to be taken apart. But we have removed and mostly replaced the cameras in a lot of those devices. And I would say we're about 95% done here in the office. The bad news is that contact tracing has been really tough. So, the WeWatch app, when it installs itself, it has you agree to also preemptively install it on any device you come across that it's able to. So we've been trying to track down everybody that everybody was in contact with during that week of testing before we started locking this down. And
Right.
that's getting to be a lot of work for my team. Maybe folks should make a priority list, like maybe let's keep it to a dozen people who you really care about, whose well-being is important to you, or their opinion of you is important to you, and limit it to like that. Because at some
Right.
point, we're not liable. This isn't our software worm. We didn't create it. We just were patient zero for it.
Yeah.
I would like to say too on our end that as you know, both John and I went to several high profile parties during the time in which we were running that free trial, and our team is working on providing very, very generous influencer packages to most of those people. I mean, honestly, they have very little requirements to actually promote us. We're basically paying them hush money, but
Mm.
it's what we're doing to just make sure that we don't have any blowback from some of the high profile people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I mean, I know we probably shouldn't be happy about this, but like, it was kind of cool to watch those parties. Like, I didn't know the Kardashians had tigers and that you got to like pet them. You didn't tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, that tiger first was not as nice as it seemed, and second
Oh,
was like you don't have smell-o-vision through the camera, and that tiger was
Oh, thank goodness.
incredibly smelly, and
wow.
it's
I hadn't thought about that. I just assumed they would smell like a cat, but more.
yeah,
Yeah.
but imagine a cat but more like magnified. I
I don't
mean,
know. I mean, if it's like a nice, clean cat, they got a good smell.
yeah, but
Get in their little belly.
but
They
tigers
smell
they
like
don't.
coziness.
I, well, speaking of which, Matt, like the office cat spends a lot of time in your office, and the cleaning ladies have actually specifically asked me if there's a way that we could like distribute it a little bit because the cat smell just is frankly not coming out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do. It likes me. I mean, I can
You
try and shoo it away, but it follows me pretty much wherever I go.
I think it's because you always keep anchovies on you and you feed it to them, and that's
Well, I
also
mean, I
another
won't.
smell
Yeah,
problem,
I'm not going to have those anchovies anymore. So
right?
there goes that
That's
diet
true.
option. So maybe that'll take care of it.
Okay, two birds with one stone. Um,
I don't want anyone to be upset or jealous if the cat continues to like me even after the anchovies are gone.
I think we understand the cat has its own preferences. We've learned at
That
this
reminds me,
point
is the
that
cat an official employee? Can the cat not have seafood now? That's potentially an
oh
allergy issue because,
no.
yeah, like not all cats can eat all meats.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I'll check the records. I think they're a contractor, which probably means that those same benefits and restrictions don't apply.
Okay.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Well, um, thank you for the update, Matt. I'm very excited to get some of my devices back with working cameras that I don't
Oh, yeah. I wanted to
have to
ask you
worry
about,
about.
it's been hard to get replacement parts for some of these. Are you really still using this 2003 iMac that you brought in?
Yeah, no, it works great. I mean, the newer iMacs, they have so locked down that you can't add extra like hard drives and different things to it. So like
Oh,
this
that's
one's
true.
really well personalized to me.
Okay. It's just yeah, I mean it can't be a good experience for you using that to do much of anything.
I mean, it gives me time to multitask, right? Like I have the iMac, I have my Samsung S3, and between those two, like I usually have something to do at most times.
Wow, okay. Well, I was going to offer you some replacement upgrades because in some cases it's cheaper just to give you like a new phone, for example, than to try and find replacement parts for an S3. But
Oh,
if you're dedicated to it, we'll figure it out.
yeah. I mean, it's just that the recycling programs for Samsungs are not great, and I just don't know if I could live with myself knowing that that's just going into a dump, potentially leaking into water sources, hurting children. I don't. I think about that sometimes at night, and I don't think I want that on my moral conscience.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, um,
That reminds me, Calathea, for your team members that asked, we did get the new iPad Pros in, and we have uh, sent away their old editions for recycling.
which
Oh,
recycling program did you use?
It's the Apple official.
okay.
Okay.
Um, that's good to know. I think, a couple of our members really enjoy those vintage Apple products, so it might be a little
Oh
bit of
yeah.
an adjustment.
Oh no. We flagged those. Believe me, my team developed a whole program to make sure everybody's device came back to the exact person. But there were a couple of requests for new ones, so we just went ahead and did the upgrade if anybody asked for it.
And that came out of your budget?
Yeah, I mean, I figure a lot of this one is on us for letting folks install the WeWatch app. So yeah, we're just eating that. We'll just make do with our server stack as it is. You know.
Well, I'm I will any sort of flack that you get from the creative team for taking away some of their old pros, as they would call them. I'm happy to be at the front of that. I'm sure they'll love the new iPads that they have.
Thanks. Yeah.
I can
Uh,
give an update on our end.
okay.
I'm so sorry Eric can't join us today because wanted to announce that we have rolled out our new augmented reality couch feature that has been
Oh, nice.
incredibly popular usage. As you know, it allows people to see how our couches might look in their space,
Yep.
and it's been really great on social media. People are taking a look at couches that they probably reasonably couldn't afford to buy and taking a
Mm,
look at how that fits. It's a really nice aspirational piece with
Hmm.
them. So
yeah,
yeah, we're very happy with it.
nice.
I did want to ask, are people using the adventure mode?
Yes. So many people are using the adventure mode. Yeah, it is so exciting to watch them be able to basically create like a little uh couch, video game, board game on their wall. It's been so amazing.
That's
Awesome. Yeah,
awesome.
I've been hoping some of my favorite tabletop gaming streamers get involved in this. I think Calathea, I sent you a list of names to contact on Twitch. I definitely don't want to tell you how to do your job. I think it would be really cool to see
Yeah,
them.
we've definitely reached out to some of them.
So
You
cool.
know, yeah, I expect that we'll be able to see it. I also really enjoy that feature you can add like new couches to that game by going out into the wild. So it's been very cool to watch our users really expand their thinking and be able to see how our couches might look in parks
Oh yeah.
and public spaces. It's led to people actually delivering couches to parks all over the country,
Hmm.
which is actually we're getting some blowback, but I mean,
Yeah.
what park couldn't use a good couch?
Yeah, a lot of municipalities have really cut back on seating as a way of preventing homeless people from setting up, you know, places to stay. And I think it's pretty awful civic policy, honestly. Like houseless individuals are as much a community member as anybody else. So
I
kudos.
totally agree with you, Matt. I mean, I am totally against antagonistic architecture and, designs like that. I'm thinking, a couch for the people or some sort of campaign might be next of, this is a new marketing opportunity. Like if we have saturated the couch in home situation, where can couches go next?
True.
Love it.
I will say that we're having a few issues. I mean, this is kind of like early days of Pokemon Go, right? Everyone's just walking around with their phones in front of them, not really looking where they're going. And there have been a few cases of buses running into people with couches who are trying to deliver them to parks, or just like playing the game in the middle of traffic. Um, I guess, like, for instance, in New York, there's not a lot of street space to put a couch, so people tend to try to go towards the middle of the road.
Mm.
Um, so I guess I'm just wondering if there's like a way we could adapt this so it doesn't work outside,
I mean,
or at
could
least
we partner with, I guess Uber and Lyft are probably more car than couch-sized moving vehicle companies. Maybe
Right.
maybe we could bring our own logistics team into this. Be great to have couches sent through our system and, get to pay the overhead of going to the warehouse and getting put back out on the truck. And then
I
people don't
mean,
have to try to move them themselves.
yeah, this could also, we could work with municipalities like Bird does to put like geo restrictions on where people can deliver couches
Mm,
to. For instance, the middle of intersections. Though, if you guys saw the 4 intersection couch, I mean, it created just this beautiful little green space on a busy intersection in
Yeah.
Boston. And I mean, it was well, if a bunch of Bostonians yelling at you and cursing at you while you have fun at an inflatable pool is your style, which who
yeah.
Yeah.
doesn't love that? I mean,
Yeah.
that was so good.
And frankly, it was amazing. I mean, it's March, right? And it's so cold there, and they just continued heating it with that fire, and I mean, as we learned, right? Like fires do melt inflatable pools, so not like the greatest homemade hot tub situation. But uh eh, yeah, I just is that really the kind of PR we want?
I don't know. I mean, it definitely got increased couch sales,
Yeah.
and that fire melted the pool, but not our couches, which is really great, especially after some of the fire risk
Yeah,
issues that
Yep.
we've experienced in the past.
of course. We've worked hard to make all of our couches absolutely fireproof. Quite the opposite of what they were actually a few months ago.
I mean, are there challenges in this new space? Yes. But is it redefining where couches can go? And aren't we about redefining marketplaces?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I'm all about it.
Speaking of which, this Series A is coming soon, and I really think we need to put more time into thinking about what's next, right?
Yeah.
Couches have really been a great cornerstone for us, um, but we're about more than just couches, and
Yeah.
I think this extra influx of capital will give
Oh,
us
yeah.
the chance to do more.
I can't wait for us to talk about this on the yacht. Because we're taking a big vacation, right? Like we're doing the full month.
Yeah.
Great.
Sort of.
What?
Oh,
Well, I mean, I know we said like a month-long sabbatical would probably be built into the Series A, but there have been some negotiations since that. It will definitely be a couple days at minimum.
A couple of days.
that's like we get one of those every week. It's called the weekend.
Yeah.
3. I think we could definitely get 3 days.
We need way more time for planning
Yeah.
than 3 days.
Kate, the Series A is not just like an influx of cash. It's a leveling up of our company. It's a leveling up of our identity. And we need a break. We need a complete like divorce from the people we are now, from the company we are now. And the only way to do that is through an intensive and lavish experience on a boat. Will we be working there? Yes, somewhat. Like we're going to talk about the future of the company. But we also need to be able to get 3 square meals a day from the dining hall, to enjoy late night karaoke lounge singing, to swim, and most importantly, ride in the water park tubes on top of the ship, to take day trips in places that require extra vaccinations. Like all of that is going to help us become the company we are next.
And if I were to just say, to the core of my being, a belief that I have is that things get worked out on boats. And if we want these things to be worked out, we need a boat.
And I love the idea of this multi-tiered boat that can sail all around the country or world, really. But I mean, we have operations. We have to like keep the business running during that time. We're gonna be getting all of Facebook's traffic right then. Like, what if things break? And I also like, I mean, you mentioned divorcing ourselves. I don't know that I could go through that again.
It's just a metaphorical thing, Kate. We leave behind the people
Oh,
that we are in order to become the people that we will be. And look, we're
okay. So we don't
we're
have
not
to have
inviting
like
everybody.
custody issues. We're
Oh
not going to go
God,
through like custody battles for our previous personalities aspects.
no, I don't. Why? Well, I mean, there's the Bugsby thing, but I didn't think we wanted to.
Sure. I don't think we want to bring that up either.
Sorry, Calathea.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I don't have the mental capacity. I mean, we just went through a really rough branding exercise that is taken all of my mental energy. So have I forgotten and use strategies to forget about this custody battle? 100%. Bugsby's loss in Iowa really has changed him as a
No.
mascot, and
Yeah,
nope, I just don't have the brain space to
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
look, I
to
just
get
want
into
to
it.
one more thing about the boat. Okay, it's not for we're not bringing the entire company. Okay, everybody will delegate work to their teams and leave behind contingencies. IT and dev,
Sure.
we've got internal docs and manuals on just about anything that could possibly happen short of a meteor hitting the data center. And most
Right.
of the zombie response plan would cover that. So it will be fine. Like we'll go out for some weeks. There's satellite internet on the boat, and we can handle anything that comes our way. But I mean, Kate, you've got trusted lieutenants, right? You've got folks that you delegate work to.
Um, Trusted delegators. I mean, that is something that is certainly a idea for me to pull together. I just think it's been so hard when I've tried to hand over HR or finance or the relationship with legal or some of the operational pieces or some of the support pieces and some of the manufacturing or innovation or warehousing pieces. So, I mean, I just have like 50 to 90% coverage for some of those. But we could think about it. Maybe well, no, not Francis. I'll think of someone. Yeah, maybe I'll get an intern.
Okay, it just wouldn't be the same if you weren't there, and we need you to not be the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We need to get on
Well,
this boat and change as a company and as people.
and I am so looking forward to getting on a boat.
Okay.
It just sounds like such a cool experience, you know?
Oh,
Um,
this will be your first boat?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Oh wow,
yeah.
this is your first ever time being on the sea?
Yeah, I mean, there was one time that I went on a canoe with my grandma, but then she fell off, and then the canoe
Oh,
broke, and then we had to swim back to shore,
yeah.
and that was not great. But I assume this will be different.
It should be pretty different.
Hopefully, yeah, drastically different. Was your grandma okay?
Uh, in general, no. From that experience, yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Um. Wow. All
Anyway,
right.
yeah, I think we've kind of covered all the topics we needed to today. Any final notices? Otherwise, I'll make sure Eric listens to this.
Great.
No, I mean, I think we're. I mean, I hate to say it right now, but it seems like we're at a space where there aren't any fires to put out at the moment.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, that reminds me. When Eric, when you listen to this, you do need to bring in your smart fridge. We need to replace the camera in it. Also, your Nest thermostat.
those
Don't
have
say
cameras in it?
in front of, yeah, they have cameras in them. It's to tell if there are occupants in the house. Don't say in front of your Nest thermostat that you're bringing it in. So like, don't listen to this out loud, because then they will know and they have control of your Nest thermostat.
Oh,
Sorry, the
gosh.
fire just made me think of that.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, then I think we're good. Just a reminder to everyone, on paper, don't eat fish. But at home,
Sorry.
really, do what you want.
Right. All right.
This meeting has ended. To subscribe to This Startup is Being Recorded, go to the podcast player of your choice and tap a button that likely says subscribe. More content is on Twitter at Startup Recorded, or shoot us an email with ideas, feedback, or your personal startup horror story at hello@startuprecorded.com. Kate is played by Valerie Garrison. Valerie is a product manager and regularly plays with the improv troupe Letters to Chicken online. You can find her on Twitter at @thevalgaris. Eric is played by Barry Wright. Barry is a product manager at Spotify and a co-founder of Highwire Improv. Find him by his name on LinkedIn, where he holds regular office hours, or at highwireimprov.com. Matt is played by Marty McGuire. Marty is a senior web engineer and improviser in New York City. You can find Marty's comedy, code, and cats on his website at mmg.re.